Hello. My name is 387012196, and I'm pretty proud of that name. I think it's a beautiful name. I'll come back to later why I'm not afraid of that number, and obviously my parents didn't give it to me, my government did. I consider myself much better in cyber world throughout my life. Every time, I need to do something with my hands, things go very wrong. I remember first time when I met my mother-in-law, and she asked to do one thing. She's living in a countryside where men need to do all the hard work. So my only task was to change a light bulb. All right, I thought that's easy. She returns after half an hour, and I have broken the lamp and the glass. So it was the very last time she gave me any task at home, so lucky for me there. But I consider myself as bad with physical stuff as I consider nations in digital stuff. Why do all the nations fail all the time? We have given them dollars, millions and billions of dollars to build digital societies. They don't know how to handle data, privacy matters, and we don't kind of trust them anymore. And it's not us to blame there. Today I want to share with you an alternative route, like what if we could trust them? What could be the future with our nation states in a fully digital world? And I'll give you that example through my own life experience and running different digital government projects. And hopefully, if you like this new picture, you can go back home and support your own governments on the roadmap. So, 10 phases for your nations to become truly digital. Phase number 0. It's not 1, it's 0, that's why I don't follow that phase. It's pretending to be digital. You have those scanners and stuff. You log into government system, and there is some PDF forms which you need to fill. Then you print it out, and you sign it, and then you send it to someone via scanner. I think I have never seen that scanner myself, but people use that still, I guess. And then someone needs to fill it again on a computer. So it does help a bit using those technologies. It really fails. The whole system is failed. And many nations are at this stage today, back in their legacy systems. So to enter to phase number 1, to activate digital mode, means that every person is known for the government, who they are when they interact with you on internet. So that's why I'm not afraid of my number, my name in Estonia, 38712012796, because governments and computers are better with numbers than names. So the first phase is that every person is known, getting digital identity, can access any services online, can digitally sign any service, any product, and through that really enhances your quality of life. And government saves approximately 2% of their GDP by only acting digitally. But besides having a name, you need to enter to phase number 2, where is opening the App Store. When many governments have the digital names, they lack the App Store. App Store for both private and public sector to build the services what you can use. In Estonia, we opened the App Store in 2002. Back then, of course, you have the chicken egg problem, so no one uses any services. It took something like 5 years before first services started to be used. Today, there are thousands, if not 10,000 of services, and everything can be done digitally. Last 4 times I've been voting, I did it digitally while I wasn't in Estonia, declaring taxes within a few seconds, to getting child benefits, for example. And it's important the private sector will be part of this journey, in banking, in telcos, etc. Once you have this, you can enter to phase number 3, where the real magic starts to happen. And this is the screenshot of a decentralized Estonian databases, which you can see their end-to-end connections. So it looks ugly, but actually it's beautiful. There is no single point of failure. You can't attack the system and take it down as such. All the transactions there are encrypted, all the data is encrypted, and everything is blockchained in a sense that every transaction done on the system, you can check out yourself who has done it, who asked your data, why they asked. So for example, if I declare my taxes, I enter the tax registry, one of the green dots. I allow my tax registry to access my data about my population registry, about my work registry, how much I earn, about my land registry, what's my property, etc. It calculates everything together from hundreds of sources, and I just need to accept it by signing it, and I have declared my taxes. When you renew your driver license, you give access to your health records to get your medical records, population registry to get your passport picture. It gathers all the data, I need to accept it, and next day I had my driver license next door. So all of this can be then traced and tracked. If police checks your data, you can log in and see who has checked your data, when and why. If they didn't have reason to do that, then it's a criminal record. And we can trust the system because every record has a blockchain type of hash there, and you can't kind of delete that. So entering to phase 3, there are 3 nations here already. Besides Estonia, now we are working in Finland, where we can do cross-border data exchange, and there are some emerging nations coming. But this is a crucial element of this roadmap. Phase number 4, becoming invisible. Until now, you still had to do something for government. Like government asks you to do something. It shouldn't be like that way. Becoming invisible means that for the first time, you don't notice government. If you give access rights to access your data, government can do and act things on behalf of you. If my child was born, I still had to register child benefits and kindergarten positions. Now, everything is done automatically allocated to me. If I get 65, I get pensions. I don't need to ask pensions. All your life cycle, if you give access what's happening, they can act on you, and you don't need to do anything. This is what we entered last year. Phase number 5 is getting along with robots. Last year, Estonia had the EU presidency, and there are loads of presidents and prime ministers together. And a very funny thing happened when one president came to stage, and we have those self-delivery robots, what you can see here, driving around Estonia. So they're everywhere. They are like delivering foods and stuff. Then the president tried to do a selfie with the robot, so waved to the robot to come here, please, like a dog. Obviously, the robot didn't move. It's important for governments to put standards how we are going to interact with robots. We can't learn how to interact with all different companies out there. We need to know the standards. What are the robots going to do if they're going to cross? Should I stop or should I let the robot go? How would I interact online? All of this needs AI and robot legislation, which at the moment we are putting in place, and hopefully in cooperation with all the other governments, so that basically we can start living together, humans and robots. And without joke, it's actually happening. Phase number 6. Once your whole nation is fully digitalized, its next phase is to becoming a borderless nation. So there is no reason at all to restrict those services to our own citizens. Back in 2014, I launched e-residence in Estonia. So I allowed every person on the planet to become our digital citizen, to become e-resident. First, we didn't have exactly full idea why you would join as an e-resident, but people started to join and started to tell us as a nation why they need us, like what Estonia could do for them. Today, we have over 60,000 e-residents running over 7,000 companies and interacting with themselves and with Estonians on a daily basis. So Estonia doesn't serve any more Estonians or Estonian residents. Now we serve globally everyone who wants to be part of our nation. I'm at the moment helping other nations to do their e-residences. So after 7 years, I imagine I'm an e-resident of 10 different nations altogether. I can start choosing which nations offer me what services, where I'm going to take healthcare, where I'm going to run my business, etc. And this makes them very competitive and much better user interfaces. Phase number 7. Once you realize that everyone is your customer globally, you can serve everyone. Just you need to find out your best service. You can start tokenizing the ecosystem. 2 summers ago, I wrote an article about launching an S-coin to do an ICO of a nation state where you can actually be part of the society, your own part of the society. Nations can raise money, plus those tokens can be used internally to exchange value. Even if they're not tokens, the important is that the revenue models for nations are going to change. Like, the goal for Estonian case is to have 10 million year residents by 2025. 10 million subscribers, let's say, if you're a company. Each of them paying 100 euros per month would mean that we have 10 billion euro annual budget covered by 2025. Means that we don't need taxation anymore. We can change our revenue model from taxation to monthly-based subscription of global subscribers. That changes everything, of course. That changes the power game of the world, and that changes your revenue models to unlimited. You don't need to speak about 3% GDP growth. You can grow 100% per year if your subscribers will keep subscribing to you. Once you're freed your revenue model and your own resources internally, that you don't need to conquer other lands to become rich, you need to just build a better UI to get more subscribers. You are free of your land also. So phase number 8 is reaching immortality. That means that we are still dependent on the physical piece of land what we have. So if someone would invade us again, we wouldn't have anything. So here the project which we entered a few years ago, Data Embassy, means that we have embassies all around the globe where we don't have people working, but we have actually data centers up and running. So it's not only that data is backed up there if something would happen with our land, but it actually, we can keep up and run the services also. So without even physically having Estonia, I would still vote who would be my prime minister. I would still pay taxes to them. I would still apply driving license. So after this phase, you can't be dead anymore. You can't be eliminated as a nation state. Phase number 9, embracing AI. So in private life, we're pretty used to AI. And like last time I ordered pizza, it was AI who recommended me what to order. I watched a movie on Netflix, it was AI. And the study even shows that you should choose your wife or husband through AI, which gives you better results because we overestimate the look of a person, kind of. But in government, it feels strange at the moment, but it shouldn't be. Today, we are at the moment developing AI to do court cases for you, but we are going to be more difficult cases soon, case by case. We are going to do real-time taxation predictions, where and how to lower taxes. We are going to do immigration rate real-time differences. We are going to analyze the market, how it goes, and react to that in real time. And already now, let's say, in different fields, we are going to use AI. We are at the moment gathered DNA for 10% of our citizens. We are going to match that with healthcare records, and we can do predictive analytics and predictive medicine and avoid lots of death cases. Hence, as a government side, save loads of money. So I feel that, and myself at the moment, I'm building a startup which I can't pitch here because it would be impolite, but I'm building negotiations AI which would help to find better deals between different parties. And together with those tools, I see that after a few decades, we don't need to have the tools anymore where politicians will just click this red button that enforce. We can just allow the system to up and run themselves. Like we start allowing anonymous cars to drive instead of drivers, or do operations instead of some doctors. So at this stage, nation would start running on background, doing decisions for you, and the role of politicians will be dramatically something different. And we can reach the phase number 10, including everyone, my nation as a service concept. So once we have built this borderless AI nation-state platform which runs on background and works for you, we obviously don't need to keep that ourselves, and we can share that as a service model with all the other nations. Like we are sharing the data exchange layer, like we are sharing the digital identity layer, we can start sharing the application layer. And that, I feel, is very powerful, because then it matters less and less where you were born. What race you are, it's like a lottery today, you know. Your life really depends on that. Once we can share those services, we can give equal opportunities to so many more people in this world. coming back to my mother-in-law, she doesn't consider herself very good in IT or computers. And quite often, when actually she calls me, then the first thing I need to tell her is, like, ask her if she is turned off and on the computer again. But the reality is that she's using her identity, digital identity, all the time. Like, she's putting grades on e-school registry to her children, homework, writing down every day. She's accessing e-prescriptions, healthcare records online. She's using ID for bank transfers. She's part of the system without knowing it. And she feels good about that. She's empowered. And all the minorities can be empowered through that. And besides all the minorities, all the global citizens, through e-residency platforms, can be empowered through that. So I believe that nations are becoming independent from their own physical land, citizens, revenue, and start serving humanity like never before. Thank you.